All right, applied percent. So this is how you can figure out what problem they're giving you is like a sales tax. We don't have sales tax in Oregon, which is why my Californian cousins, they like to come and shop up here, and why when I go visit them, I don't like to shop because we're given this tax rate. The tax rate is 3.9%. What is the tax on $42? So let's pretend we're buying a pair of jeans. The price tag says $42, but the cashier is going to tell me that it's a little bit more because of the sales tax. So we need to figure out how much more these jeans are going to cost. So the first thing I need to do is turn this percent into a decimal, and I do that really easily. I just move the decimal to the left twice. So 3.9% is 0.039 as a decimal. Just really quickly show you 3.9 as a percent. Move the decimal over to the left twice. Fill in that blank with a 0. Now my decimal is here and not here. So I've got 0.039. What I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply that 0.039 by the 42. So I go to my calculator, I go 0.039 times 42, and I get 1.638. Now we're dealing with money here, and when you have money, you have your dollar sign, okay, whatever amount here, pretend that's a number, your decimal, and you only have 2 places after that decimal because money is out of the hundredths, okay? So we have an extra digit here that we don't want, and Acellus reminds us to round to the nearest hundredth. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the hundredths place. This is the tenths, hundredths, and I look to the digit to the right of it to tell me whether I need to round up or leave that 3 alone. So 5 and up, round up. 4 or less, let it rest. I do have 5 or larger. I have 8. So I'm going to round this 3 up to 4. So I'm getting taxed $1.64 on my $42 jeans. So when I go to ring these up at the cashier is not going to tell me, okay, you owe me $42. That'll be cash or card. She's going to tell me that'll be $43.64. But it just asks the tax rate, not the total amount. So 1.64. Okay, original shirt cost, current shirt cost. Find the percent of decrease. Okay, this is what formula he was having us do in the Acellus videos. So the formula is this. The difference. So difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. So the difference between the original amount and the new amount. So the original was 54 and the new amount, the shirt cost $40. So the difference between 55 and 40, I don't know why I kept saying 54, is $15. If you don't believe me, you can go 55 minus 40 in a calculator. Okay, so my difference is 15. Now to figure out the percent of decrease, I'm going to ask, like, what is the percent? I don't know. So I put a variable there of, I write my multiplication symbol. The original amount was $55. So now I've got this little equation set up to solve and figure out what the interest was. So I have 15 equals x times 55. I want to get that x by itself so I know what it is. To undo multiplication, I divide by the number that's attached to the variable or on the variable side of the equation. And then what I do to one side of the equation, I do to the other because it needs to balance. Okay, when I do that, we get rid of those and we are left with x. Yay, we've got the variable by itself. And then we have to go 15 divided by 55. 15 divided by 55 gives us 0.27272727. 0.27 repeating. Okay, what did it ask us? It says round to the nearest whole percent. Okay, so just like last time, we went from a percent to a decimal. Now we have a decimal, but we're being asked to write it as a percent. So we do the opposite. We move the decimal to the right twice instead of to the left. So that 0.27 becomes 27%. And that makes sense because the 0.27, that would be in the hundredths place, and percents are out of 100. So our answer is 27%. The cost decreased by 27%. The tax rate is 7.5%. What is the tax on $110? So let's pretend we're buying a nice pair of boots. They're $110. That's what the price tag says. Let's figure out what the cashier is going to tell me how much is the tax. So first thing I need to do is take the 7.5% and turn it into a decimal. Okay, we do that by moving the decimal to the left twice to go from a percent to a decimal. Fill in that 0, so I get 0.075. Now I go 0.075 times 110 in my calculator. And I get $8.25. So I'm getting taxed $8.25. So my boots were $110, but when the cashier rings me up, she's going to say, you owe $118.25 because of this tax amount. Now we're going to apply the formula. We're going to find the difference, and then we don't know the percent, so we're going to put a variable times the original cost. So the difference between 98 and 89 is 9. You could go 98 minus 89 in your calculator, and that's what you would get. Difference means the answer to a subtraction problem. So 9 difference equals, we don't know what percent, so we put a variable of the original cost was $98. Okay, now I have my problem set up so I can solve it. 9 equals x times 98. Undo what's been done to the variable, so we're going to divide by 98. What we do to one side, we do to the other. Oh, come on. Now we have x equals 9 divided by 98. What's that? I get 0.0918, blah, 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 blah. It says to round to the nearest whole percent. So remember, with moving from a decimal to a percentage, I just move my decimal to the right twice. So then I would have 0.9 or 9% of a decrease. And we're on to the next lesson. All right. Good luck on calculating percentages.